Hi there, welcome back to Whole30 Day 6. I'm Elizabeth from OurPaleoFamily.com, and tonight we're having super simple tacos. And so I have my big skillet heating up on about medium-high, and I have a pound of grass-fed ground beef. So I'm going to just open this up. It was frozen. I got it out of the freezer about an hour ago. Just started to thaw just a little bit. So I'll talk over my meat and I'll just brown this up. If I put a lid on my skillet, it would cook faster, but I'm not going to mess with that. I'll go a little slower because I'm talking to you. So on my website, I have a recipe for taco meat or taco filling, and it involves chopping and browning a bunch of vegetables, some onions, some garlic, probably squash, mushrooms, just a bunch of sort of neutral flavored veggies that I can add to my taco filling to kind of punch up the vegetable factor, and nobody really notices because there are all kinds of spices in there. My pan just swirls all around on this countertop cook stove here, so I'm sorry for my spinning skillet. But tonight I am just going super simple, and I did this one night, I don't know, a couple months ago when I wanted to make dinner. I didn't want to go out, but I just didn't have it in me to do all the chopping. And basically all I'm going to do is brown this pound of meat, and I'm going to season it with salt and pepper, just salt and pepper. I add in 1 link of chorizo sausage. Now, I bought this from Whole Foods. Oh, here are the ingredients on it. On the little sign in the meat case, it did not have ingredients, and I have asked before, and they have to go to the back and they get out their recipe book. And I know that it's gluten-free, and I know that it's dairy-free, and I just didn't feel like going through the hassle of asking them to give me the list of ingredients tonight. So I just got one and hoped that there wasn't any sugar in it. And if there is sugar, which a lot of sausage has sugar in it, most sausage has sugar in it actually, that it would be just a minuscule amount. That's what they've told me in the past when I've asked about if they're breakfast sausages or their Italian sausage. There is sugar, but it would be like a tablespoon in their whole batch where they make 25 pounds of it. So, but now that I have it, I see the ingredients are on my label, and the ingredients are pork, paprika, sea salt, cayenne pepper, coriander, oregano, black pepper, cinnamon, cloves, allspice, garlic, and canola oil in a natural pork casing. But as you know, when you read an ingredient label, what comes first is what is in the highest quantity in that food, and then it goes in descending order. So the very last ingredient will have the very smallest quantity. And I know from asking them in the past that the oil is simply used to toast the spices, and then they grind the spices. So it's a very, very, very small amount of that canola oil. So I'm really honestly, with dealing with the Whole30, I'd rather have a little bit of canola oil in there than sugar. So I'm super happy there's no sugar in there, and it's gonna there's just 1 link of chorizo because it's typically pretty spicy. And I'm going to just cut the casing off. With my serrated knife. A serrated knife will go through that much easier than a regular knife. And I'm going to wipe my hands on that paper, and away he goes. And then I'll just brown this up with my hamburger. And it adds a great flavor. I've not had to add additional spices or do any hard work other than just pick that up at the store. And let's see, what else was I going to tell you? Today is day 6. I have to say, I don't know how many times I've attempted a Whole30, but it's many, probably 5, maybe even more than that, but I think about 5. And I have never done it successfully. I can say there are times I got 12, 13 days in, doing it perfectly, and then I just completely fell apart. And there are days where right from day one, I made a small compromise, and I just decided, oh, it's just a teeny tiny compromise, like I forgot, and I put stevia in my coffee that morning. It's okay, I'm just gonna keep going. And you know what? The whole 30 people say, no, you cannot do that, that does not count. And so I am doing it as perfectly as I can this time. And here I am on day 6, and I have to say, other than being kind of tired, I feel like I'm doing better than I've ever done before. 6 days in, I've not really been tempted for sweets. There's always stuff in my house. My husband is a type 1 diabetic, and he just, sometimes his blood sugar crashes, and we need to feed him some quick carbs. And we like chocolate, so we usually have some good chocolate around, and the kids usually have a little stash of candy someplace. So there's stuff in the house, and I just have to resist it. And my husband is gone for the weekend, and so when I am left alone, when he's on one of his scout trips, that's when I know I tend to eat junk and kind of go overboard, because I'm bored and I'm lonely. I want my guy with me, so I know this weekend will be a little bit of a challenge without him here. So got my daughter to hold me accountable, and plus I'm feeling good, and I'm feeling really motivated to make it through this thing 100%, because I want to feel that tiger blood that they tell us is coming around day, I don't know, 15, 16, something like that. I'm ready for that. I've never experienced it. Kind of feeling anti-tiger bloodish right now, and I would love that. So all we're going to do is get this nice and brown, and then I'm going to add salsa. And most salsas do not have sugar in them, but I'm sure there are some that do. Probably some have high fructose corn syrup. I have recently found one at Aldi, which is a great discount grocery store, that tastes really good, and it's all just tomatoes and peppers and onions and spices, so it's really clean ingredients. But I had an abundance of tomatoes all at one time out of my garden, and in the past I've just canned plain tomatoes. I've canned like a spaghetti sauce, and one time years ago I canned salsa, and it was so spicy we couldn't eat it, and I was like, oh, this is such a waste. But I canned it anyway, and after it was canned, it mellowed out and it tasted awesome. So I decided to make salsa again this year and can it. And I don't know if that video is going to be up when this video goes up, but I did a video of making the salsa, which is actually really simple, and then canning it as well, which again is not hard, it's just a process. So if that's something you're interested in doing, look for that video. But you can certainly, by all means, find a salsa on the grocery store shelves that will be Whole30 compliant. Okay, so there's just a teeny bit of pink left in my meat, and I'm going to grab my salt and pepper and let this brown. Get this out of the way. I got out my coconut aminos because whenever I'm making something and I feel like it just needs just like a little punch of flavor, I can't really figure out what exactly it needs. It's almost always coconut aminos will do the trick. It has that umami flavor. I'm looking for my 1/8 teaspoon. Excuse me. I like to keep my 1/8 of a teaspoon measuring spoon in my salt because we usually cook 2 eggs at a time, and it's just, I found it's the perfect amount of salt for 2 eggs, and it's just convenient, so I try to keep that in there. But I must have washed it the other day because it was in my drawer. I don't remember what I was saying. Alright, I'm going to get this browned. I don't think I added any salt yet. I talked about it. I know it's going to need at least 1/4 of a teaspoon, so we'll do 1/4 of a teaspoon. A teeny bit of black pepper. Oh, I was talking about the coconut aminos. I may add that in. You know, every time I buy the chorizo, it's like a little bit different, so I may need to add some aminos and I may not. And the way I'm going to serve this is I have just a variety. My daughter says she's not very hungry, so she may just have a big pile of lettuce with some meat on top. She'll probably have some cheese. I baked a couple potatoes the other night when I had the oven on. I don't usually eat sweet potatoes because I just don't usually eat that many carbs, but doing the Whole30, I felt like I'm gonna need some carbs to feel good, to keep my energy up, and so I had the oven on. I went ahead and baked a couple and stuck them in the fridge. So I'll just heat these up in the microwave, and I'll probably have this small half of potato and put some meat on top, and I'll slice some avocado, which I have a nice ripe one right here. I'm not gonna bother to make guacamole. I could, but I'm just not gonna go to the trouble. My husband and I are the only ones that will eat it, and since he's not here, it would just be me, and then I'd probably be tempted to get out the tortilla chips. So I'm just gonna resist that temptation and just use the straight up avocado. But as I said in one of my other videos, the trick to survival on Whole30, in my opinion, is sauce. Sauce on anything. And I am forgetting one of my ingredients, so let me grab that real quick. Okay, while that's cooking, it's cooked, it's all done. I just want it to brown, and then I'll add some salsa. And the amount of salsa you add is dependent on your preferences. Do you like your taco meat to be thick? Do you like it to be thinner? So you just need to deglaze the pan using this cast iron, or if you used a just like a stainless steel pan, one that's not non-stick, you will get some nice fond on the bottom of your skillet, and you want to get that off because that's flavor. So you need some kind of liquid to deglaze. So we'll let that get nice and brown. So you can pour in as much as you want. I have about a half of a cup left in here, and that might be enough, but if not, I got another one out. But our sauce is really simply some mayonnaise. I'm not going to make a lot because I know I'm the only one that's going to eat it tonight. So probably about a tablespoon and a half for my one serving of my Whole30 homemade mayonnaise. The recipe's on my website. I've got a video on how to make it. It's super easy. And you just mix it up with some salsa. And it's like, oh, I'm having this creamy sauce. But there's no cream, no cheese, there's no dairy in this. It's just the mayonnaise and the salsa. And it just makes it feel kind of decadent. This on top of the sweet potato alone would be delicious. This will make a good salad dressing. It's really, really good. It's amazing what the mixture of the mayonnaise does with any other sort of condiment. Really, really good. Okay, it's starting to brown. I can see it. I can tell by how it sounds when I stir it. If you want your meat to have sort of a thickened quality, like a thickened sauce, like a gravy, you can add more salsa and then thicken it a bit with this stuff called glucomannan. And I will get mine real quick. Gluten-Free, this is Now brand. I ordered this from Amazon, and it is a fiber supplement. I don't know if you follow Mark Hyman. He is a great pioneer in the functional medicine world, and everything I've read from him is fully founded in science, and I trust what he says. And he's a big fan of this. Actually, you can take it as a fiber supplement, but I simply use it in my cooking. I don't really need a fiber supplement. I get plenty of fiber from my diet, but I do love it as a thickening agent. It's very strong, so I only ever use an eighth or a quarter of a teaspoon at a time and see how that goes, and then add more if I need it. And so I know that what I'm adding to thicken is not adding a bunch of starchy carbs. It's actually adding some good fiber. So I'm getting some browning, which is awesome. I just want a teeny bit more. I'm going to be greedy. I want a little more browning in there. And then I'll add my salsa. I'm going to get my daughter a divided plate because I don't know about your kids, but my kids don't like their foods mixed together, even though they're older now and they do better with this, they still prefer to not have stuff mixed together. So she's having salsa, she wants her little container for salsa, and she'll have her little meat over here. Actually, I can't microwave that pink one, so I'll microwave those together. If I were heating up my oven for some other purpose, I would definitely heat those up in the oven and not the microwave, but sometimes you need the microwave. Okay, so it's nice and brown. I'm just gonna, okay, listen for the sizzle. You hear that? That's good, that's what we want. I'm just gonna pour that half a cup in. And I'm going to give it a taste and see if I like it or if I'm going to need to add some more. I have a feeling it's going to be spicy. It's really good. Ooh, yeah. I got it on the back end. It's a little salty, so the chorizo must have been a little bit salty tonight, which is fine because I'm going to put it over a sweet potato, which is plain, it has no seasoning, and my salsa is not salty. There's not salt in it. I don't think there's salt in it. It certainly doesn't come off as salty. So I'm going to say that I added a cup of salsa to this, and that's going to come out just right. It has nice flavor already in there. It's obviously tomatoes, onions, garlic, bell peppers, jalapeno peppers, cilantro. So there's all my seasoning. I don't really need to chop up and add anything else. I could very easily throw some kale or baby spinach, some kind of leafy green in here, but I'm just going to eat a big salad on the side. And I think this has plenty of flavor, and it definitely is salty enough, so I am not going to use my aminos because that will add a salt component as well that I do not want. So let me get this warm and I'll show you the finished product. While I'm waiting for my sweet potato to heat up, let me show you my trick with the avocado. They sell these things called, an avocado keeper, an avocado stay, right? There are all these sorts of different names, but so when I eat an avocado, I usually eat half at a time. Like I'm going to slice it and put it on my salad. So just leave the pit in the other side. Just stick it in a bag, just like that. And it won't brown. I've done this 100 times at least, and it doesn't brown. People say you need to put plastic right on top. And yes, if you're making guacamole, you're mixing that up, you do need to put plastic directly on top of the guacamole in your bowl to store it in the fridge or it will turn brown, just right on the top. You know, if you forget to do that and you pull it out, oh, it's not really brown, it's sort of like a really dark green, it's not this bright color anymore. Just stir it in, it'll be the bright color underneath. So it's all fine, it's not gone bad. But this will keep, just like this, in my fridge for a couple of days. Let me turn this down. Actually, I'm going to turn it all the way off because my skillet is very hot. It will retain plenty of heat. Now I'll just give this a slice, and I'll use my spoon to scoop it out. I have been really hungry on this Whole30, really hungry. Like I feel like I'm eating a ton at night and I still wake up very hungry. Now I'm not super hungry right now because I ate a later lunch and I hate eggs and bacon and nuts and salad, so I had a big lunch, but I worked out right at lunchtime, and I was starving when I was done, so I ate a really big lunch. But I'm going to still eat my dinner because I feel like I need the nutrition, and I certainly don't want to wake up hungry. Let me check my potatoes. They're nice and soft. It takes a long time to get a sweet potato to bake in the oven. It drives me crazy. Usually I will microwave my sweet potatoes for a minute to a minute and a half to get it to start to soften. Okay, so I have these plates, these old plates get really hot. So I've got my sweet potato. I'm going to just give my daughter a little bit of meat. She won't eat a ton, so that's enough for her. I'm going to spoon mine right on top of my potato. and my avocado. So just use my spoon and kind of run along the outside of that. Those slices that I made will come right out. I could top it with more salsa if I wanted to, but I have my amazing creamy salsa sauce. Because it would look ugly if I poured it on and I need to take a picture, I won't pour it all on, but you can bet I am going to eat all of that sauce that I made. So I get a big pile of my greens, and that's what my salad dressing is, okay? All right, and here's our, it was so hot from the microwave. Okay, here is my super simple, quick taco dinner for Whole30 Day 6. And just like always, I'll have the recipe for you on the website. Thanks, I hope you're doing well.